How instrumental would you say the group Full Force was into making Lisa Lisa and Cult Jam the kind of success that you guys became?
Oh, they created us. You know, it was their sound with our flavor, you know, so they had 100% everything to do with, you know, creating Lisa Lisa and Cult Jam. They put us together. They had the sound in their head and in their hearts. They knew exactly what they wanted.
Can you feel the beat within my heart? Can you see my love shine through the dark?
When I watch the movie, I don't see much mention of Full Force, right, and their participation in your career.
Right.
Why is that?
We decided that we were going to focus on Lisa Lisa and Cult Jam and who we were.
Okay.
And how it was an upbringing. You know, it came up in this business. Nobody really back then, nobody knew who Cult Jam was.
Yeah.
They used to think,
confused.
oh, yeah.
This biopic that's out now on Lifetime really helped put things into perspective to see how it all happened.
Which is what we really, really wanted to do. We wanted to focus on who Cult Jam was because they were never in the front lines. Everybody thought the Full Force was Cult Jam.
Yeah, the guys from House Party.
Yeah.
That's Cult Jam, right? I'm like, no, that's not. That's for their separate group.
So that's why we focused
so
on
this representing just them. I mean, everyone knows how legendary Full Force is.
Right.
They wrote these amazing songs and produced these amazing songs that gave us Lisa Lisa. It wasn't a diss to them. It was just, you know what? A lot of people are confused about who Lisa Lisa and Cult Jam is. So let's represent Cult Jam. And Lisa, when we sat down at the table with Twinkie, we just decided, you know what? Let's represent the group.
Yes.
So people kind of have, you know, people hear with their eyes. So now they'll know
They'll see
that
it.
those
Right.
two guys, Mike and Alex, that's Cult Jam.
Because we were portrayed in the movie, I don't want people to think that, oh yeah, we were down with it. You know what I mean? Because we weren't down with it. No one spoke to us, and the facts are all wrong, and it's crazy. So then the movie comes out, and we see it. And the first scenes come out, and this dude comes up and says, I'm Mike Hughes. I'm like, okay, you know? Okay, so what is this guy gonna do? Right. And this thing started being wrong. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's wrong. That's wrong. Why'd they do that? That's wrong. And that's wrong. And hey, wait a minute. Where was Full Force? I don't understand. I don't understand anything that's happening in this movie. I'm like, it's so confusing. You know what I mean? And why is she there? 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 She wasn't there. What's happening with this? You know what I mean?
Can I say one thing? The fact that Tony, her friend and manager, she wasn't in no part of the beginning of us. She didn't come till like a couple of years later.
She came
as an audition.
Right, we actually met her in '86. So the group came together in '84. We recorded I'm in the year in '85. We went on our second tour when Tony was hired in by late '86. Because we had two other background singers on our first two tours. That whole timeline thing is out of whack as well.
Let me say this, that this was As We Are a group. Whatever happened after, it was not, we don't know about. Okay. Right, Mike?
Yeah.
So this is on the 9 years of us being a group. So all that stuff in the movie, the timelines of her doing that stuff in the movie for Lisa is bullshit.
What you just told us is different from what we saw in the movie. And a lot of people out there are going to be confused. So can you elaborate on that?
We understand that when you make a movie, you need to make it dramatic, right? But movie fake, it needs to be dramatic, you know? Even if you're telling a so-called real story, the movie's dramatic. But now,
and it's fiction.
Right, the movie's fiction. But if you're going to go on a TV show now or go on an interview and say, yes, that's really what happened, now you're being untruthful.
Was Tony that influential in that early days? Because I'm watching that and I thought she was running the show. And I was like, wow, so you guys, she made the decisions and the photo shoots and you guys were just like, yeah, whatever, okay.
Let me just say, in a 3-year period that they cover in the film, 3 years, from I Wonder If I Take You Home to Head to Toe Lost in Emotion, when we played a Radio City Music Hall. 3 years, that's a 3-year period. In that 3-year period, we had 5 background singers, 5. she was one out of the 5. She couldn't have been there all the time. Got 5 other girls, come in and out. Tony joined us a couple of years into our touring, and then she was really let go, and then she was brought back again. That's her entrance and exit through the 3 years that the movie takes place. They wanted to make it seem like she was there from day one. So filling the story up with her, I guess, trumped telling the true story of Lisa and Cult Jam in full force.
I think B came up with the idea, let's find a girl now who can cross all genres. We purposely set out for a Latin girl. The Hispanic brothers and sisters that I were with, they had the flavor like me. They had the style like me, the dress code like me. So I wanted to get a young lady who represented that.
They wanted a female voice. They had the songs already written, sure. The sound they were thinking about, they just needed the voice.
I met up with Mike and Alex Spanador a couple of times at their home, and we rehearsed a couple of things, and then Mike took me over to the audition for Full Force.
Full Force wrote and produced Lisa and Cult Jam's first album and appeared in the video of their breakout single written by B-Find called I Wonder If I Take You Home. Cult Jam, a DJ phrase to describe obscure club tracks, was Mike's idea, while Full Force manager Steve Salem had already named Lisa twice.
Lisa, you have 2 first names. Why?
It was Full Force's idea, along with Steve Salem, my manager.
Steve Salem gave her that name. The manager of Full Force. Steve Salem said the name Cult Jam is cool, but it needs more. It had nothing to do with sexual innuendo.
I mean, my first antennas went off, obviously, with Full Force being not included. It's omitted. They were eliminated from the movie, completely erased out of the story, which to me was egregious. I'll just be very honest. Not that yours wasn't egregious, but from our point of view, you might not know all the particulars, right? So that was the first thing that threw me off. Let me ask you this. Is there any reason that you can think of that Full Force would be eliminated?
We heard their reason, what they put out.
Yes.
Yeah, didn't seem obviously in something like this, you could take 2 minutes, a short amount of time, and just make everything correct. The whole Full Force, Cult Jam, and Lisa in 2 minutes. You know what I mean? But they didn't want to do that. That would have interfered with their focus. Mm-hmm. And their focus was to make a friendship bigger than everything else. Mm-hmm. And something that really didn't actually exist at that time.
So what's going on with Cult Jam?
Cult Jam released an album called Cult Jam Love. Cult Jam has a new lead singer, and her name is Mystina Soul.
Soul. Pretty girl too. I saw her on YouTube. Very pretty.
Yeah, man. Look up our videos on YouTube or Instagram or on our Instagram, Cult Jam Love. And we've been recording and doing concerts, and we are still alive, still making great music, still energetic. Still energetic, making great music and doing a great show. You know what I mean? So that's what we have been since the 80s, and that's what we still are now.